The Oran Dominion believed itself eternal. For 1,000 years, their fleets had scoured the spiral arms, conquering primitives, absorbing the weak, enslaving those too stubborn to die quietly. Their war engines carved empires as a farmer scythes a field. When word spread of humans, a species confined to a single pale blue star, with a scattering of fragile colonies, the Orans laughed. To them, humanity was just another crop waiting for harvest. So when the mining colony of Helion 6, deep in the Perseus Arm, rejected Dominion protection, the Orans answered not with negotiation, but with spectacle. The skies above Helion 6 split as the Oran dread carrier Veracity descended. Its weapons burned oceans to steam and cities to molten glass. Children were dragged screaming from shelters. Elders were chained for sport. The Orans broadcast the massacre to the entire sector, forcing even distant worlds to watch the humiliation of Terrans. On the Dominion's war net, officers jeered. "Behold the frail ones hiding in shells of steel they call armor," General Varek sneered. As prisoners were paraded in broken exosuits, their plating shattered. "A species so soft they wear shells like beetles. Do they think tin can save them from fire?" Laughter echoed across the fleet. Humanity's armor, its ships, its weapons, mocked, dismantled, trampled before billions. The Orans left Helion 6 a graveyard, ash and bone drifting through a silence no cry could escape. And the galaxy, watching, learned the Dominion's lesson. Earth was defenseless. Earth was prey. The laughter of empires in the halls of the Oran High Assembly. Arrogance swelled. "We struck their outpost, and they did nothing," senators boasted, drinking blood wine as the images replayed on crystal screens. "Their leaders whimper but dare not strike. Their fleet is small, their armor brittle. Humanity is too civilized, too fragile for war." Ambassadors of neighboring species echoed the mockery. "The Terrans build alliances, not armories," hissed a Sithran trader. "Their ships ferry grain, not death. Their armor crumples under a child's kick, across a dozen empires." The refrain was the same. Humans were weak, and their patience was cowardice. They laughed at the Terran suits, polished, simple exoframes meant for protection and exploration. Compared to Oran warplate, bristling with spikes and powered by reactors, human armor seemed like toys. The galaxy forgot one truth. Mockery is not immunity. For every moment of laughter, for every jeer, for every drop of human blood spilled, Earth was silent. Not because it was powerless, because it was watching. And remembering the tour, the silence breaks. Silence is deceptive. It can be mistaken for weakness. But in truth, silence is the coil before the strike. When the retaliation came, it began not with trumpets or boasts, but with whispers on comm channels. The Terran fleets had vanished from their stations. Civilian transports had turned back to Earth, escorted by ships that moved in blackout mode. Entire asteroid shipyards went dark. Then the first sighting. At the edge of Dominion space, a patrol frigate reported an anomaly. A shape eclipsed their star, larger than any recorded vessel. Not a cruiser, not a dreadnought, something greater. Its hull glowed faintly. Not polished metal, not the fragile tin the Orans had mocked, but layered composites woven to absorb stellar fire. Along its side, words etched in white, TSS Soul's Wrath. When the frigate hailed it, the reply was not in Oran tongue, but in Terran standard, carried on every channel in system. "You have kindled a sun against us. Now we burn," the frigate's last. Transmission was static and screaming, "Forth." Coming of the suns, they came like storms. The Terran fleets did not march in neat squadrons, but surged forward as tidal waves of steel and light. Dreadnoughts the size of cities, carriers that birthed endless wings of fighters, armored divisions packed into planetary landers that struck like meteors. But most terrifying was the armor. The galaxy had mocked it, laughed at it, dismissed it as brittle shells. Yet when the first Terran ground armies deployed, the truth became nightmare. Human armor was not meant to mimic alien warplate. It was not bristling with spikes or glowing with intimidation. It was functional. It was built to endure what no other being dared to imagine: the heart of stars. The Orans fired plasma cannons hot enough to slag mountains, yet the suits endured. They unleashed neutron bursts and radiation storms, yet Terran soldiers advanced, their armor absorbing, dispersing, defying one Oran commander before his death, gasped into his recorder. "They walk through fire. Fire meant for suns. How can flesh wear stars?" The galaxy learned too late. Humanity had designed its armor not to endure alien weapons, but the void itself. To step upon irradiated worlds, to walk through fusion furnaces, to mine near suns. What was war compared to that? The Retribution Unleashed, the Terran vengeance was not a battle. It was a harvest. On Helion 6, where billions of bones still drifted, Terran fleets returned. Not to reclaim. To punish. Orbital cannons fired rods of dense tungsten, accelerated to near light. Each impact cracked continents, vaporized seas, left scars visible from orbit. Human infantry dropped in waves, armor glowing faintly with re-radiated energy. They did not speak. They did not taunt. They advanced with machine precision, silent executioners in the dust. Entire Oran regiments unleashed firestorms upon them, only to watch their own weapons reflected back. In one infamous recording, an Oran warlord screams, "Why do you not fall? Why do you not die?" A Terran soldier answered, voice calm through his suit, "Because we were forged in harsher fires than you can imagine." The last sight that Warlord saw was the reflection of his own burning fortress in the visor of a human helm. Say, the day the stars went dark, the Dominion had prided itself on its fleet. But pride is fragile in the Battle of Corvus. The Dominion assembled its entire Grand Armada, 5,000 ships strong, surrounding the twin stars of Riss. The galaxy watched. Certain humanity could not breach it. The Terrans did not breach. They blotted it out. Terran dreadnoughts emerged from hyperspace in silence, forming a ring around the system. Their hulls unfolded like wings, revealing weapons no catalog had recorded. Stellar lances powered by captured suns, magnetic accelerators launching slugs the size of mountains, drone clouds that moved like living storms. When they fired, the twin stars of Riss dimmed, not from natural eclipse, but from the sheer density of Terran steel eclipsing their light. The Oran fleet was annihilated not over days, not over hours, but in minutes. The screams across the comnet were drowned beneath static as ships melted, crumpled, vanished into white silence. Survivors spoke of seeing the sky itself become Terran armor, wrapping the stars until no light escaped. It was no battle. It was revelation. Earth's vengeance was not limited to weapons of war. Earth wielded the suns themselves. Sicked, ashes and silence. When it was done, the Dominion was gone, its capital reduced to molten glass, its fleets erased, its proud generals vaporized alongside their monuments. The Orans, once the galaxy's terror, were no more than whispers among the ruins, and the galaxy trembled. Across empires, rulers erased old recordings of laughter. Markets stilled, armies hesitated, for what had been unleashed was not simply war, it was judgment. In the aftermath, survivors, both Oran and those who had watched from afar, spoke only in hushed tones. "Do not provoke them," whispered a Zolari merchant, staring into a star map that no longer shone with Dominion borders. "They are patient," said a refugee who had seen Terran soldiers walk through flame. "They will wait centuries without answer. But if you draw their blood..." The refugee looked at the sky, trembling. "Their vengeance is infinite. Fate, the legacy of fire centuries would pass, but the memory endured. Children of alien worlds learned the lesson in lullabies. Never mock the armor of Earth, because that armor was not built for war alone. It was built to walk among suns, to endure where no other dared tread. And if that armor turned toward war, no empire could withstand it. The galaxy mocked humanity once. But when human armor endured their suns, the galaxy never mocked again.